Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at Battle Creek. Hare Scramble Racing! Oh my gosh, we only got one more race for the season. Coming in a couple weeks at Portland. We couldn't do it without District 14, AMA, you know. Oh, and I saved you guys from having to wait 10 seconds with me. We are off to the start. Oh, bike right in front of me. He is way up there. Oh my god, I don't even know who that was, but he freaking blasted up there. So, the starting area for Battlefield is definitely a little sandy. And this area, oh my gosh, deep sand, rut, you're going, you're just trying to make it. Branch down, didn't want to fall. Whoa, slid out on the branch. So, the game plan for this race is the same game plan I originally wanted to do at the last race. I want to take it easy. I have 0 seat time this year for racing. So, I actually, since I'm sore, beat up from last week's race in fall, I'm actually taking it easy. Oh, so glad I did, because I still ended up very sore and very beat up. I'm walking around like a old man today. My quads are sore, my back's sore, my shoulder's sore, blisters on my hand. Oh, but it was so much fun. Let's see. So, this is the 35 plus C class. 4 years later, 3 years later, still in the C class. If I stop getting injured, I would actually maybe make it up to the B class. I don't know. I don't have much more quickness in me at this point, I think. Just have to be more consistent. Everyone's kind of, you know, making their way. The faster riders will spread out. Slower riders will hang back here with me. But boy oh boy, was this a great day for racing. It was a little cool in the morning, but it was so cool in the cool in the morning means that it was about 40 degrees when I showed up at Battle Creek this morning, 8:30 a.m. And but by the time we were getting ready to race, mid-60s weather, look up in the sky, 60 degree, I'm sorry, mid-60 and sunny. Oh my god, perfect weather. Perfect weather. Looks like we had another spill. Which, if you guys see my little teaser clip I put up, I ended up kind of weird. I think I just jumped a little bit to the left, and then I think the jump might also have a little bit of curve in it. But I came down right on the edge of a jump, and I might have been able to pull it off. I was really close there, and I thought I was going to pull it off, but it was a little sandy, and I ended up dumping the bike sideways. As I'm jumping off the bike, I catch a handlebar right to the top of the inside of my leg, like, you know, probably about 2 inches away from my jump. I was like, oh wow, that was close. So as I kind of tumble off the side of this landing pad and the nice soft sand, thank God, and my bike flips down and like practically lands where I can pick it right up. And I was like, all right, well, this worked out, not too bad. I didn't get tangled up and injured, and I don't have to even barely lift up the bike. So let's get back to racing. Of course, it's great as always. I always love me some Battle Creek. You know, a little rough in spots as the track kind of, you know, gets worn down, and there's some nice straightaways with some decent whoops. You just gotta roll with them, but I'll take a straightaway with whoops than some, I don't know, some really tight, jagged stuff with baby stumps everywhere. And he's coming, he's gone. So, big props. We're coming to the end of the season. Big props for these fast guys. They are like freaking blazing. That might be Wolf right there. Alright, so someone is supposed to put in something, but I believe Team BC riders should be ahead of us. There's not that many of them, and when I did race Team BC with boosters, most of those guys are mid-pack B riders. So why make them fight through a whole C class to you know, get speed and go? I don't know. So I believe someone was going to put in a suggestion for that. I might just have to go and do it after this video, send off my email. We'll be voting on some changes next year. From what I tell, there's not that many suggestions, which means things are running good. You know, I can't complain. Oh man, I really wish it wasn't towards the end of the season. Missed out on some good opportunities, some good racing, some good memories, but there's always next year. Just gotta get my body going. I wasn't feeling these jumps for some reason. But then again, you know what? I wasn't feeling very jumpy today at all. Just, normally I don't know, like, normally I push it pretty good on jumping in motocross areas because to me it's my time to make up some speed and work on my jumping. And I don't know, just wasn't in the mood today. I did baby jumping. I guess I also could make it into a baby fall if I mess up. 300 though, man. Oh my god, I can power through some stuff. Power! I always took this inside line. I think if I would have done the outside line, I might have got a better shot at this straightaway here to this jump. He's waving the flag, and honestly, they did it in the last jump. They're waving the flag, and I'm thinking that something's going on, and there's nothing going on. I'm like, okay. But I'm glad. I didn't want to run over no one. I didn't want to do that thing. But yeah, good old turnout. Normally, if I show up about 8:30 in the morning, besides for the campers, there's not that many people, you know, out there. And I pulled up at 8:30 this morning, a little bit later, you know, 8:30, because it was cold, and I thought I don't want to freeze my butt off the whole time if there's nothing to do. And man, this place was packed. I was like thinking in my mind, is there something else going on here, or is this just, you know, how it is? But yeah, it was a good turnout. I think we ended up having 19 people in our class and only one DNF, so that's always a good thing, because you know, that's probably bike issue or possible injury, and sometimes we have 3, 4, so one's always better, none is preferred. I placed 13th. I got to the flag before, or sorry, not a flag, but I got to one of the laps where I was like, oh man, these blisters are ripped open on my hand, my leg's hurting. I think I got one more lap, so I got to there, and there was no flag. I'm like, all right, let's do one more lap. If I get the white flag, then, you know, I'm done. I got to the white flag, and I was like, yep, I'm done. Still haven't really healed up all the way from last week's fall. And not even just the fall, just being out for that first time on a really brutally great track. You know, I'm mixing that positive energy with the negative, and I love a good challenging track. The only thing that I don't care for is a mud fest on a hard track. Oh my gosh, that makes it so hard. And I just always have this fear of getting stuck, you know, like I've been in the past. So far so good. Got a little backup here. Oh yeah, looks like maybe 2 riders can't get over this. I don't know. It actually wasn't too bad. I think it looked a little more intimidating than it was because it was right around a corner. But they had so much wood stacked up before and after that it's almost like a little baby log bridge. We're going. So back to the fast guys. It's getting towards the end of the year, and mad props to you guys that come out here and kill these tracks. Oh my god. I just, you guys come by, you're so motivating. You move so quick and you go and you just make it look so effortlessly. And I'm like, oh, why can't I do that? Oh my god, like right here, oh, if they were found a way around over that and gone. I don't know, great riders, that's for sure, great riders. Yeah. Not really that bad at trees. I'm afraid of hitting my head on one or two of these. I ducked down very good, which, a new addition to my gear that I ride with, I finally got a neck brace. I ended up with the Liat 3.5, it might be a GPX, and no complaints at all. I very rarely even remembered I had it on, and I do a lot of looking, and I probably look down way more than I should, and that was the only spot that I had, when I was testing my movement, had figured out that I could, that was my, like, spot that would hinder me the most with looking, kind of, you know, 300 power, 300 power, so looking down the most, but it didn't even bother me, and the way I've fallen in the past, I have a pain that goes down from my neck to my collar, shoulder area, and, oh, yeah, I should have got one years ago. And speaking of this location right here, you're watching around that turn, here he goes. This is the story. I already knew I wasn't going to be, like, super competitive, so, you know, if I see a rider in need, I'm, you know, going to stop. So, I see this rider off to the side, just standing there and looks a little confused, you know, like, and I didn't see a bike. Here we go, going along, yeah. And I'm like, you okay? And they're like, no, I can't get my bike out. But actually, it was a young teenage girl, so no, I can't get my bike out. And I was like, oh, okay. She's like, and I think I hit my head pretty good. I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm looking for a bike, and I don't even see the bike. It was like 7 feet back off the trail, and I'm walking back there, and oh my gosh, it's in like all these thorns and vines and everything. It was hard for me to even lift the bike up because it was tangled up pretty good. So it ended up being, I think it was a Yamaha with electric start, because I did electric start it, thank God, because I was not going to be pushing it out of there very easy, and I was on not the kickside starter of the bike, so got her going, and I don't know how she placed, but I don't know, she made it the rest of the lap. I was behind her for a minute, and she was going slower, so I ended up passing her. But I hope you're okay. Oh, I love these straightaways. Just, the whoops were just good enough for me to just give it some gas and get right over the top of them. And still need to do something with the suspension. This is going to be the winter goal. I'm going to look at going and doing a conversion over to a standard conventional open cartridge setup, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 200 forks that are freaking dialed and plush for my riding and my height and my speed. So all you fast guys, you might need something different, but I'm going to go in. I got a fair set of forks. They're exactly the same. And I'm going to copy the shim stack and everything about them, and hopefully I'll be able to get a second pair of forks that are really nice and flush. And then I'm going to go and do a bladder conversion on the rear shock. I really hate the WP's way of filling up the nitrogen in there, and I think I probably won't even... Alright, so I'm gunning it. Deep sand. Oh, he's getting squirrely. I'm trying to stay straight. Oh, this is racing for me. So yeah, I think the bladder conversion with the standard Schrader valve on the bottom, and honestly, people do say that they like them. There's going to be less friction from no piston, just using the bladder, and I'll give it a try. You know, it's reversible. If I hate it somehow, which I doubt it, it's reversible for me. Kind of like whenever I put the 2-inch lowering kit on my bike, and it was just not enough suspension travel for me for what we do. I ended up taking it off and saying, all right, what else can I do? I ended up getting the Slavin stink bug killer for the back end, and that lowered it down because I think like the 17, 18, 19 KTMs were supposed to be a little high in the back from what Slavin says, and that man is very, very knowledgeable. So he made a, shim you can put in the rear shock internally that will lower down that rear end a little bit and help balance out the bike. Oh, wow. Oh, you see that little twist of the handlebars? Yep, that's all I got. We had a guy come down from Illinois, come out and race with us Michiganders. He said his race series was going to be canceled or some sort of problem with it, so he's like, hey, I want to race this year. So he ended up coming out here, and he said his furthest race was over at Fredneck for the, and that was like 4.5 hours. Well, about 4 hours is the max that I think I've had to travel, besides not going to Marquette. Obviously, Marquette's freaking out with BFE for most of us. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. He's a cool guy, sitting there chatting, parked right next to us. I'm sure it kind of brought back memories whenever I first started racing, didn't know anyone, and just, you form friendships and you come out here and have fun and chit-chat and bullshit about what you did during the race, certain sections, all that kind of good stuff. Speaking of BS and after the race, Jack comes back and he was like, yep, I lost my camera. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm shaking my head because right before the race, I was checking out his bike because I'm very interested in possibly getting a 150 TPI at some point. So, looking at the bike, and everything, I said, man, I'm surprised you haven't broke this camera off yet because it's on a handlebar mount and it kind of reminds me of the height of like a steering dampener when it's mounted above the handlebars, that's one thing I'm always afraid of. Yep, here we go. Oh, so close. I could have maybe just hard turned it left and jumped off with the bike, but I was trying to ride it out. See how the bike just felt perfect for me? Just somersaulted out and was like, hey, here's the first attempt over the enduro section. This is the first time I ever did a cut log section like that. I've never done one before. So you watch that while I tell the story. So Dak comes back, he's like, oh, I lost the camera. And I was like, oh man. I was like, damn, I jinxed you. There's Kyle. I'm off in 20 different directions here. Kyle broke something for his radiator, I think. Radiator hose, radiator. Fell down on a log and he ended up just hanging out there watching people. That sucks because I think it was like maybe the second lap or something that I noticed him over there. But anyway, Dak loses his camera. So at the end of the race, he's like, hey, you want to come? I'm going out to look for my camera. And I'm like, hey, I'll come out with you. So me, Paul, English Paul, we go out there and we're tooling around the track. This is the first time I've ever been on the track after the race is done. Normally I'm like ready to go. There go fast guy. Look at his talent. So I go and whatchamacallit? We go back. We're like going everywhere, and he's like, he lost it by this log. So we're trying to find the area, and luck be told, I think I got freaking GoPro video camera eyes. I look down and I see his camera, so I like grab the engine. I'm like, bah, bah, bah. I was like, hey, got your camera. So it ended up being cool. Really happy for him because his camera, I looked it up at one point in time, and it's way more costly than your standard GoPro or Garmin Ultra 30. Could have been in the $500-$600 range, so it would not been good to get lost and not get it back. Wow, oh, look at that. Smooth and fast. Golly. One day. Yeah, right. One day. Nope. Oh. Actually, what happened there? I don't know. Oh. In that little sandy area, I just touched down my bike for a second, and he came up right behind me and kind of just bounced my tire a little bit. But it didn't do anything at all, so I picked it up. He's like, you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. So I took this right line because he was in the left line, and boy, oh boy, I got stuck. There was a tire hole right there with no traction for the back tires. I'm like trying to freaking Bronco this baby back and forth, up and down, and just make it a little stupid thing. It felt like a minute, but I don't know, looking at the video, it was only like 20 seconds, 15 seconds. For a racer on the clock, that could mean the big difference. Here we go. 4x4 right across. Oh. Yep, there's a bike over there chilling. Send him a message after to make sure he's okay. That's whenever he filled me in on the radiator thing. And I didn't take that little jump right there. I don't know why. I always took this way, and I think that jump would have been pretty cool. I definitely wanted nothing to do with that little log-to-log jump with the gap in between her. Oh, there's Spencer! What up, Spence? Oh, boy. If you guys don't remember, I bought my 2008 KTM 200 from him whenever I got into Hare Scramble Racing. And it looks like this video is done. Oh, got the one-footed jump over there. I was like, dang, I ain't doing that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be the same.